2K16 cover athlete Steph Curry gives you some shooting tips. You guys don't want
This is it. The last game of my rookie season. Kind of hard to believe. These 82 games have gone by in a blur. I know we're on the outside looking in when it comes to playoffs, but that doesn't mean I can't go out and give it everything I have one last time. So here goes nothing.
Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
And talk about a team that just never seemed to get into a rhythm offensively. It was just an ugly game to watch.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I mean, they didn't appear to have any kind of cohesiveness in terms of game plan. And they never figured out how to attack the defense in that.
So Phoenix will get the first possession. And the Clippers starting five. Inside. Suns trail by 7. Outside Knight. 11 feet away. And he nails the jumper. Knight's got his first bucket in this one.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
And that one's good.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
No good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
And you know what? A shame that either team had to lose that game, because you had to be proud of the way they battled in it.
Yeah, I suppose that's right, but it still was heartbreaking. I mean, you hate to lose in OT. No matter how hard you played, you want to come out on top if you're going to play those extra minutes.
And how about the grasp they had on the game plan for this one?
You know, I know it's early, but I don't think I'm going out on a limb when I say we could be headed for a blowout unless something dramatically changes and fast.
Now, here's Warren. Looking for his first basket still in this one.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
And Redick kicks to Griffin. Screen by Smith. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Booker, he's checked in for Knight. .32 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Warren. There's 21 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Passes it to Booker. 5 to shoot. Hits the three-point bomb.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Stevenson with it. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Shoots a fader. Cannot hit. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Los Angeles on top, up 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. DeAndre Jordan not a focal point offensively for this team, but as a defender, he understands he can make a big difference.
I'm not really a big scorer for our team, but that's not my job. My job is to defend and rebound for our team. And, I've accepted my role, and I feel like I'm, excelling in my role.
Well, Jordan, the man who knows what his job is, and he likes his job, Clark, and does it very, very well. He is excelling.
Yeah, he is. He may not be the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, but he is certainly the Clippers' Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan's become a defensive beast, an animal defensively, and really the thing of it is...
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Griffin's checked in for Smith. Lance Stevenson comes in for Paul Pierce. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Rivers in for Paul. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. J.J. Redick is out there with Rivers. And it's Stevenson in at small forward. There's the dish to Rivers. Here's Griffin. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Suns trail by 10. Well, T.J. Warren had a very interesting start to his NBA career. Spent most of the first half in the D-League. In the second half, Clark, he finally got some minutes and really provided a spark.
Yeah, he doesn't have great range on his jumper right now, and he's not an elite ball handler, but he's one of the best cutters in the game. Moves well without the ball, so I think his future is bright nonetheless.
Here's Knight. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Knight's got 4 points in the quarter. Los Angeles leading by 8. And here's Rivers. Here's Griffin. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second-chance points, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
And talking about TJ, guys, he put up a few interesting numbers towards the end of last season. Shot 64% from the field in March. Had 18 points in one game, 17 in another. The last game of the year, he chips in with 6 assists. So now it's up to him to put it all together on a more consistent basis.
A nice shot by Knight.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
There's 53 seconds left in the first half. Rivers dishes to Stevenson. The stupendous finish in traffic. Stevenson's got his first points in this one.
And, getting back to TJ, yes, he needs to improve his shooting range, but what I'd like to see are major improvements on defense. I mean, he shows active hands when he's near the ball, but he can also be a bit lazy as a defender and gambles and reaches too much. That won't get it done at this level.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
High post shot. Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead's cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Chen. L.A. has gone for the three-pointer 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. Now here's Rivers. He feeds it to Griffin. 2 on the clock. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Griffin's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And so we conclude the first half. Clippers lead by 9. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Brandon, tell us a bit about your opinion on the team right now in general and what's important for the team to do in the second half.
I think we're doing all right, but we always want to improve. We always want to get better, and we just want to apply the principles that we applied throughout the week. So I think we did a good job, early on. Then we started to get fatigue and get a little bit tired. So I think we got to continue to play through adversity.
Sticking to your principles is usually a good thing, Brandon. Thank you so much. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Hey, fellas, let's go over what happened in the first half. It wasn't what we had in mind, but there's plenty of time to get things straightened out. First thing, we need to run more set plays for our low post guys. We've got to get more scoring inside. Let's set some good screens down low. Ball security was probably our high point. Let's continue to keep a tight handle on the ball and not try to thread too many needles with our passes. And when we get the ball, we can look to start the break if it's there for us. But I don't want to push it just because we have some ground to make up. We don't have any excuses for putting ourselves in this hole. All we can do is give everything we got to dig ourselves out of it.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
And in terms of points in that first half, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Los Angeles leading by 9.
And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
Tucker and Morris holding the forward spots. Bledsoe and 9 to the backcourt. And it's Chandler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. They're the group for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half. To the paint, here's Pierce. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Pierce has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Clippers. Greg, as you said about the Clippers, the days of finishing near the bottom every year are over. Clark, a lot of that is Doc Rivers.
Exactly. Since 2012, Kevin, they have had the third best record in the NBA. A lot of loyal fans stuck it out with the team during the dark days, and now they're reaping the fruit.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't the top point guard in the league. Even now, you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
And the first one drops.
And with Paul, it is all about his consistency. Other point guards will have better years or stretches than him, but he just puts up huge numbers year in and year out, literally like clockwork.
And so Paul nails both of them.
You know, it's amazing to me how little fanfare CP3 gets. I mean, he's not a flashy player, but you look at his effectiveness on the court, and he's a once-in-a-generation kind of talent. I mean, he's done it all his entire career.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
2 shots.
Teams changing it up here. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter.
And on the topic of Brandon Knight, you have to wonder why he's been traded around so much. I mean, it wasn't due to a slow start because he made the All-NBA rookie first team. He's smart, has a strong work ethic, proved himself to be a clutch shooter in college, the kind of guy you normally wouldn't think about dealing for someone else.
Griffin kicks to Redick. Griffin sets the screen for Redick. Back to Griffin. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
You know, talking about Brandon Knight, part of the reason he's been traded so often is because teams are offering great prospects in return. Detroit dealt him for Brandon Jennings, and Milwaukee dealt him for Michael Carter-Williams.
Here's Chen. Can't hit from the elbow.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Now here's Rivers. Tight defense on him. Pass to Redick. No one near him. And that one's good. Redick's got 7. And it's the Suns with the ball. 9-point game. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Clippers leading by 7. Rivers passes to Redick. Griffin against Len. Griffin dishes to Rivers. Picked by Griffin. Rivers kicks to Redick. Drops in the tray. 10 points for him.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Here's Lure, covered by Smith.
Move the ball. Stick it to
Lure the pass to Chen. 6 on the shot clock. And Booker kicks to Warren. Here's Chen. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Now Stevenson. Kicks it to Griffin. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
The Clippers have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And so it's Phoenix who scraped by with the win. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. You were just wondering what would happen next. Major drama, and we saw a good one.
That's it, folks. The NBA regular season is in the books. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Brandon Knight. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game tonight, stepping into more of a leadership role in this performance tonight.
Brandon Knight had his A-game working for him tonight. He plays the game at a lightning-fast pace, and we got a serious taste of that tonight. When he puts on those afterburners, forget about it. He's out of there.
Well, his shooting percentage up there in the high 50s speaks to how smart his shot selection was. It was really an intelligent game he played, plain and simple. It's all about protecting each possession, and he set the example for them with his excellent decision-making.
And that'll do it for our coverage of this year's final regular season contest. It has been a wild ride. For Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, I'm Ernie Johnson. Now the playoffs begin on 2K Sports. See you back for that.